Good afternoon and welcome to the April 29th edition of the BES update from the CSM team. I've got some great recognition I want to share this week. A couple examples of just stellar behavior by our employees. The first one is a rep, William Wilson. Some of you may know him. He's just been regularly submitting issues each week that are concise, indicating who should respond back to the customer and being professional. His involvement from the beginning has demonstrated that he's on board. And he asks relevant questions and provides positive feedback to the CSMs. So kind of channeling my inner Aaron August, I'd just like to say, remember the fundamentals win the championships. Also wanted to recognize the local CSM, Charlene Awada. Most of you know her as well. She received a request for one of her customers for an NGSA, a non-core gas service agreement, and the metering device hadn't been installed. So I wrote most of the details into the written update. But basically, Charlene had to corral all sorts of different departments on this one's, coordinating between multiple lines of business to get the right proper metering device put in place and to communicate the updates to the CRM, the customer, and to Jill Adams, who's setting up the actual agreement on the NGSA side. So she documented everything in EI, which was great, and she even went above and beyond at the very end. She made a call to the employee the day of the meter install just to make sure that everything was good to go, and clarified with the customer that they were still ready on that same day as well. So thank you to both of those employees for doing such a great job. The other thing that I wanted to do was give you a couple quick tools and tips. If you guys ever feel like you need data help from the business ops teams, that's Gordon Wong's team. Most of us, have sent stuff to John Airtractor, Jeff Chu, Mike Bohan in the past directly. They've got a new intake form they'd like us to use, so I've included a link to that. Also, I'm finding on occasion we're needing to send more and more large files to customers as we get more and more interval data requests. I checked it with the TSC and found out we're not able to use Dropbox or Box to send large files to customers. So in the meantime, I just requested access for all the CSMs to what we're calling the EFTS system, which is the Enterprise File Transfer System, and that'll allow our team to send large files directly to external customers. I'll let everyone know when that's ready, but in the meantime, please don't send anything using those third-party applications. We've continued to see a few issues come in where the rep has used the wrong division when talking about an issue for a customer location. So when you're sending stuff to the local CSMs, please just double check it's going to the right division and that it's not just the headquarters of where that customer is, but it's where the problem is. Lastly, just a quick tip for you. You want to open up something in Salesforce without losing the spot you're on. So an example might be that you're working on a lead and you need to add a contact to the account. When you're anywhere in Salesforce, just right-click on the thing that you need to do, and there's an option called Open in New Tab. When you do that, it'll open up that new section like Contacts without losing the lead that you were working on, which is in the other tab. So you guys might give that a shot in the near future. Couple more action items. We did notice quite a few issues that were marked local that actually were assigned to reps or segment CSM. So this message is a little more for the local CSMs. Please don't mark it local if you're not sending it to a local CSM. The segment CSMs, if you could please review a report that I attached and just remove any that had your name on them or change it back to a segment issue, that'd be great. Also, we have quite a few where we actually have reps listed as the CSMs. So I know that only the CSMs are the ones that can access this. So for the CSMs out there, please change any of the ones where you put the rep as the CSM back to whoever the CSM was on that issue. So as mentioned, I've got a report that will help identify wherever those took place. One more thing here, we're hearing from the electric generation interconnection team, the EGI team, that they're experiencing some situations where the employees, CRMs and CSMs are doing things that kind of violate the service level agreement, or the SLA that we've got between our two teams. This is mainly for customers who have generation or cogen projects. So much of the concern appears to be stemming from situations where we've been coordinating meetings or discussions between contractors and customers. That's really the role of the project manager on the EGI team, and we actually do have some stuff written into our bargaining unit agreements, and so we don't want to violate those. I included a link to the current service level agreement so everyone can see who is supposed to do what. But you know, in the near future, Mr. Dave Hinshaw, Kevin Ernst, and Lane Puckett and a few others are going to work with the EGI team to update the service level agreement to make it much more clear for everyone. This week's process guide, we included one Stephanie and I made, which is for how to enroll some of the sophisticated non-core gas customers might be interested in our inside track system that lets them perform transactions like gas nomination, imbalance trading, viewing contracts, stuff like that. So we've got that process guide written up, and thanks to Stephanie for putting that together. A couple reminders. Based on a review of the most occurring issues, which is metering, we reviewed the process guide that Bill Powell put together and input from some local CSMs, Rebecca Weber and Mark Nava, and we made some changes. So if you're looking at the work planning guide, you'll see a couple changes in the metering section. And so I hope that makes it more clear and gives a few more options other than just saying metering, which is how it was in the past. We also made some updates to the language for power quality and voltage issues. So thanks to good input from folks out in the field continuing to send me those suggestions on how to make more things clear. Also, we determined that some of the WAPA customers who aren't eligible for CEE should go ahead and be assigned to the CSM team. So we've done a few of those. And so you might see some account assignments changing here and there in the near future for some of the WAPA customers. So my parting thought for the day, sorry, I know this is a long update, but you know, if you still feel that we're building the car while driving it, that's because we are. The goals, customer issues, and other items won't stop while we finish transitioning our new organization. We can't stop time while we do that. So I just want to let everyone know from my perspective, you know, we only expect you to do the best that you can. So if you're feeling overwhelmed and that, you know, not everything's perfect right now, that's okay. As we continue to evolve our department and improve, things will continue to align for our employees and our customers. But in the meantime, you know, as long as everyone's trying their best, an occasional mistake or missed opportunity will happen, and that's okay. So go in there, you know, when we keep talking about using Salesforce and Energy Insight, you really can't break it. And even if you do make a mistake, we can probably fix it. So as long as everyone's just trying, that's all we can ask for. I hope you all have a great weekend and look forward to talking with you soon.